The cost of awareness is deeply, deeply difficult to deal with. When you objectively know what's going on in the world, and I mean objectively, you don't come at it from a religious perspective, you don't come at it from a political perspective, you don't come at it with any type of desire for the world to be the way that you need it to be comfortable, that you accept reality one-to-one, and you ask questions, and you dig, and you learn, and you study, and you go through introspection, and you take part in shadow work, and you go through your mind and your memories and your familial issues and your societal issues, everything. You go through it all. And then you see what's taking place in the world, the level of evil that we're dealing with, the darkness that consumes daily life when it comes to the masses, politicians, the people that control the politicians, and their end goals. And you see the level of degeneracy that we're dealing with what's going on with children, with the euthanasia that's taking place in certain countries. Look at Canada. The planned destruction and erasure of European blood and genetics. The absolute abuse and spiritual destruction of the youth. When you look at it all and you see it all, the cost of awareness is deeply difficult to deal with, because it makes dealing with people, it makes dealing with everyday life a burden, a chore, something you'd rather not do. And like the man in this video, Max Egan played as an intro, a guy talking about this, and he's absolutely right. It's not because you think you're better or you're superior or that you're smarter or that you, or whatever it is. It's just because you know what's taking place in the world. So the trivialities of life, talking about sports, gossiping, whatever it is so utterly meaningless and so petty that you don't want to deal with it. There's another, think about this. There's a big channel, well, not a channel, I don't know what channels he has other than Instagram, but he's got a big subscriber count. And he was telling a story that he was going to a birthday party, and when he arrived, they said, "You're not welcome. You're not welcome to be here," even though these are people he grew up with, he knew, but he wasn't welcome there. Why? Because of the things that he talks about. They don't agree with him discussing the reality of our world and highlighting how evil it is. This is a common story for anyone that talks about these things. Either they're shunned or they choose to walk away. That's our life. That's our world. That's our reality. Is that people, no matter how nice on the surface, and I've made a video talking about the difference between a good person and a nice person, but people, no matter how nice on the surface, if you disturb their facade, if you disturb their false reality, they will cut you down or cut you out. One or the other. They will cut you down or they will cut you out. Because they do not want their belief systems attacked. They do not want to be questioned. They don't want to think critically. They will either cut you down or cut you out. And that's a fact. So people either are shunned or they walk away. And I would say most of us that have gone down this path choose to just kind of escape through nature. And rather than trying to find, scrounging to find like minds within 100-mile radius, we kind of just choose to be in these surroundings. Rather than going to happy hour, like right now it's happy hour time, it's Thursday. People are all out and about, getting their drinks, enjoying the dusk, drinking at dusk, laughing, sports on the big TVs in the background. That's what everybody's doing, especially on a Thursday. Because when I leave here and go to the gym, I can bet you more than anything, because I've been in public gyms for so long, that the gym will be fucking empty, which is a blessing to me, but it's because people are out and about on Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays, so the gyms are empty. So it's a beautiful thing, but that's what people are doing. And people that actually give a shit and have questioned society and questioned familial belief systems that have been tried to be enforced upon a young, innocent mind Or another common issue is that parents like to download their anxieties or their emotions or their fears onto their children. So people that have gone through all of that work to extricate themselves, to dig themselves out from that fucking avalanche of generational bullshit, whether it's from the family or from the extended family or from society, and they become aware of this world and the fake facade that covers everything, it just becomes too much to deal with. It's hard. It's difficult. The cost of awareness is incredibly difficult. Oh, I got a horse staring at me straight ahead. Man, there's a lot of gnats, but I got a horse staring at me straight ahead up here. Let's see what he does. Or she. Can't tell yet. I can just see his head poking up. Here, I'll show you. See him right there? What's up, buddy? There's a lot of wild horses around here. It's actually the reason I love coming here, but I didn't realize at this time of year how bad the gnats are going to be. But let's see what this guy does here. Oh, he's coming right at us. What's up, buddy? You want to come say hi to all of the humans out there that actually question this world, that want to coexist with you in a much more beautiful, beautiful realm? I'm going to let him pass because he's probably curious. You can pass. All your buddies are on the other side. They're on the other side of the lake here. You can go over there. See, this guy's probably a critical thinker. That's why he's by himself and the whole group's on the other side. What's up, buddy? But this is what I would much rather do rather than... Oh, there's another one up in the hill behind him. This is what I would much rather do rather than be at a fucking happy hour with horrific pop music and people screaming into each other's ears about utter nonsense or their political beliefs. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'll be out here with the gnats and the horses and all the other animals. But anyway, I'll just let you watch this guy for a little bit. The cost of awareness is deep. And what I've been thinking about a lot lately is it too late? I talk about this, randomly in other videos, but is it too late? Is humanity just too late to stop what's coming? The universal basic income, the digital currencies, the carbon credits, the social credit system, the 15-minute cities, stopping air travel, except for those special chosen pieces of shit that call themselves politicians and bankers and CEOs. Gas-powered cars. I mean, just think about the misery of how things are built now. I mean, pretty soon, it's going to be next to impossible to get a reliable car that has a gasoline engine, so something before the touch screens, because they're trying to do away with those things. The more computers in the car, the more technology in the car, the more problems. But soon enough, there will be nowhere to turn as far as what kind of transportation we'll have. We'll have limited public transport. We will be reduced to our little 15-minute zones. But is it too late? Because the truth is, and I think this is kind of an obvious statement, is that humanity is far too divided and our consciousness collectively is far too low to absolutely defeat the people we are dealing with. There will be enough chaos where some victories might be able to be slipped in, but we are too divided, too diverse in our worldviews, especially in the West. The West was flooded. The West was flooded with people from all over the world with different cultures, different beliefs, different religions, different views on how to treat women, how to treat children, how to treat nature. That when the time comes for a true standoff to take place, it won't. That whole idea of freedom just going out with a little whimper and then just disappearing for all time. Because how do you come back from technocracy? How do you come back from drones, weaponized robots? How do you come back from whatever they're spraying in the skies outside of the aluminum, strontium, barium? How do you come back from that? We could stop it now if we wanted because it's not in place. But how do you come back when there's full spectrum dominance, full spectrum control over every aspect of life? And they're using their energy weapons and they're using frequency weapons. How do you come back from that? I'm not completely 100% black-pilled in the idea that I believe humanity is going to disappear altogether, but maybe it's going to be some sort of demolition man style. Oh, you coming over here? What are you doing? Hey, buddy. How you doing? They're so beautiful when they have the really black manes and tails and the tan body. So beautiful. How you doing? Which way are you trying to go? I don't have any food for you. I know you're not supposed to feed them, but in different areas I'll bring carrots and stuff and feed them and pet them for a little bit. Look at just such beautiful, beautiful animals. But anyway, what's it going to be? Is it going to be some sort of demolition man style existence to where you have the complete control on the top layer of society, and then down in the sewers, you'll have people that care about freedom, scrounging to live? Because they pretty much got us at that point now. We're free to choose things. We're free to roam around, and we're free to choose the most basic of things. However, most of us are merely existing. Most people are paycheck to paycheck. Most people are screwed beyond imagination. If a medical issue arises or their transmission goes out, they're up shit without a paddle, up shit creek without a paddle, as they say. So most of us are just existing as is. Not that materialism or financial security are real, in the sense that it provides security, because it can be taken away at any point, as the COVID years showed us. The COVID years completely and utterly destroyed my life and the plan that I had for it and the things that I had going on at that time. And many others in my same position that didn't go along with what took place, losing savings and losing jobs and all that stuff. So that shows you that at any point it could all just disappear, not to mention the fact that we just talked about the digital currency and the CBDCs and all of that. So all of your savings are going to be turned into a digit on the screen, as they already are anyway. But they can just keep raising property taxes. They can just keep raising things where they price people out of living and owning homes, which is the idea, which is why all of these investment firms buy up housings and real estate and subdivisions so they can rent you back something you'll never own, which is why they love to do leases on cars and all the shit that they do, because they don't want you to actually own it. They want you to lease it and turn it in 3 years. That's how they got us. With streaming services, you no longer own physical DVDs or physical CDs. You stream your music and your movies, and you no longer have that form of entertainment or escape physically in your hands. So if the internet goes down, you no longer have your music or your streaming. Everything's rented, which is why they push Uber and Uber Eats and DoorDash so much, because they want that type of life. They want you in your fucking pod, at home, never leaving, having your processed bullshit foods shipped to you or brought to you by a foreigner, most likely, someone that's in your country that's just doing DoorDash and getting a lot of government benefits, which is what we see all the time here in the West. It's a fucked up world. And seeing it all unfold, and like I said, the cost of awareness is so incredibly difficult to deal with. But at the same time, you have no choice but to fucking deal with it. You have no choice but to keep moving forward and try to enjoy your life as much as possible, because we are going wherever the masses want us to go. Point blank, period. We're not stopping what's coming. There is no savior. There is no savior. And the question of, are we too late? I would unfortunately have to say, yes, we are. There is no evidence of some grand awakening. There's no evidence that even those in the freedom movement, the freedom movement so-called, or the patriot movement, or any type of movement, actually understand why things are happening the way that they are. They still think Trump's going to save them, or the next person behind Trump's going to save them, or the military or the police is going to save them. It's not going to fucking happen. It's just not. Never has, never will. There are no saviors. As cliche as it sounds, you are your own savior. You need to become fully aware of what is going on in this reality, and you need to accept it and move on in spite of it. And that's how you can at least have the confidence to face what's coming. And you can prepare as much as you want. You can have your water and your food stores and all of that shit. But you're going to have to defend it with your life anyway if all of the chaos unfolds. What a fucked up world that was created by our ancestors, that they allowed, with each passing generation just giving up more and more freedom, more and more of their responsibility. And now we're at this point to where these fake fucking planned staged wars can cause utter devastation. I mean, Australia's on the brink, Japan, all of these countries. If this shit keeps going on and the strait stays closed, it goes open and closed, the charade of it all, real people suffer. I mean, think about the fact that Lebanon is being bombed to fucking hell. People are being erased. Cities and towns on the maps are being taken off already, and not a word's being talked about it. How many people even know? Why don't you do a thought experiment and go around and ask, do you know what's going on with Lebanon right now? They might have heard about Gaza. Do they care? No, because most likely they're a Zionist or a Christian Zionist, or they're Christian and believe that they're supposed to worship and that God's chosen people are the Israelis, or whatever the case is, or they're a Zionist no matter where they come from, or they don't give a shit either way, even though genocides are taking place around the world. But hey, they'll still say that they are a good person. So the solution, which everybody always talks about solutions, what's the solution? Well, what's your solution? If you know what's going on, what's the solution? Why doesn't anyone talk about solutions? The solution is talk about it. That's all we have left. That's all we have at this point. What are you going to go do? Are you going to go by yourself and try to take out politicians and take out cartels and take out gangbangers and take out whoever's invading your country, or take out this person, and what? End up in a jail cell or end up dead? For what? The masses are still taking us down the same path. What is the difference? The solution is just extricating yourself from the system as much as possible, mentally and spiritually. Do not support it in any form or fashion. Understand the evil and speak out against it in some form or fashion. Safeguard your spirit that way. Because if you know what's going on and you're not speaking at all, you're just as guilty and just as bad as the people that know about it and that actually do condone it. What is the difference? If you know of evil and you say nothing, then you are saying that I'm okay with this evil running the world. I'm okay with the destruction that comes in the wake of the people that are committing the evil. It's that simple. There's no other way around it. And nobody wants to hear that, which is why people that talk like that, they don't ever really get a big subscriber count or anything like that. My videos aren't seen by anybody, and I knew that would happen the second I started this second channel. The first channel during the COVID years started to grow a little bit, but I knew making this channel that they would not be seen by anybody because the censorship and the algorithms and the AI detection is too strong. So if you mention words like Israel or Zionist or genocide or being pro-freedom, your videos will be shadow banned and not put anywhere, which is fine. It's not the point. The point of me doing any of these is to speak from my soul and put the words through energy into the ether, and to know, and to let God know that I don't stand for any of this shit. Never have, never partook, never voted a day in my life. I know what's going on. I might not know the exact realm, the shape of this realm. I might not know the exact origin of man, but I know those things kept from us deliberately, and we're not free enough to know them. But I do know who's committing the things that we do see directly in front of us. I know that government is immoral. It is founded in violence and coercion, so therefore it can never be a justified institution. I know there's no such thing as authority vested in man, and that is an illusion that always ends in tyranny, always has, always will. I know that healing comes from understanding the source of the ailment, whether that is psychologically or through your actual physical body. Heal the body, you must understand the source of the issue. Becoming aware is, like I mentioned, a very difficult thing, and it often leads you to just spending a lot of time alone and preferring to be alone because you don't want to take part in chit-chat and gossip and trivialities and the mundane bullshit that's talked about when evil is running amok, when evil is running this fucking realm. And I'm supposed to talk about rigged sporting events. I'm supposed to talk about what your cousin's getting up to. Who gives a shit? It's hard. It's hard. Cost of awareness it's a hard one. It's dark because we live in such a beautiful world, such a harmonious world that we can live symbiotically with, and we don't. But this is our world regardless, and this is what we're going to have to watch unfold, and we'll see where it goes. It's going to get much darker. It's going to get much more chaotic. I mean, you look what's going on in Western Europe, and it is on the verge of erupting. There has been, the men, thank God, are starting to gather and starting to say things like, we're going to take our country back, and they're sick and tired of the rapes and the rape gangs and the molestations and the beatings. They're sick and tired of their people sleeping on the streets, starving, while people are brought into their country and put up in 5-star hotels with buffets of food. They're sick and fucking tired of it. And so that makes me very proud of my ancestry. I only wish Americans felt the same and Americans weren't so brainwashed by Trump and Republican and conservative and patriot and 3%er and 1776 and all these talismanic words that have them sitting on their fucking ass waiting for a savior. Americans love their police and they love their military, both of which aren't here to protect you and aren't here to give you freedom, protect your freedom. That's up to you. So I'm very proud of my Celtic ancestry and what they're doing, and I hope they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. I hope the men in Spain and the women in Spain do the same thing. I hope the ones in Sweden and Norway and Finland and you name it, Germany, I hope they all do it, because they are being absolutely invaded, and the beauty and the peace that they used to experience on a daily basis has been stolen from them. The rapes are out of control, the beatings are out of control, the level of the status of their livelihood has been destroyed. And all for what? All because their governments, like mine, like ours, is controlled by foreign actors from one particular group, that their main goal is the destruction of Western civilization. And after that, they'll just destroy the rest of the world because that's who they are. That's what they want. Their belief system tells them, their religion tells them that this world is evil. So when they're after they're finished with their first target, they're the one that they hate the most, which is Western civilization, they'll move on to the rest. They're already moving on to Argentina. They're already moving on to, they have the whole, Great Israeli Project underway. They're going after other areas already. Other areas of the realm. Because they want to control this entire world. And they will accomplish it if we don't stand the fuck up at some point. But like I said, is it too late for any meaningful defense right now? Yeah. But I'm not black-pilled on the fact that I think that they're going to win the way that they think they're going to win. It's going to take a lot of pain and suffering for it to stop. But eventually I think humanity will win out. Just how long it's going to take, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's enough rambling for me. Just wanted to talk about the cost of awareness for a little bit. It's hard. And if you see this, like I said, I know not many people come across this. If you see this, share your story in the comment sections. What it's been like for you. Just a brief little Cliff Note version, little synopsis of what you've gone through since you have started questioning this society. Because I would be willing to venture that it's the same thing that I went through, and it's the same experience, similar experience that I have now, where just the basic trivialities of life and the mundane conversations and the chores and the bullshit are incredibly difficult to deal with because of the awareness of what's going on in this realm at this moment, and how bad you long for freedom and for the evolution of consciousness and the growth of spirituality, real spirituality, and to see children once again innocent and thriving, to see men and women innocent and thriving, not so low and degenerate and base consciousness. It's heartbreaking. I'll end it on this, just to show you, just to highlight another aspect of just how lost our people are. I had to take a coworker to the ER yesterday. And in that ER, obviously, it's a big hospital. Obviously, people are still masking up. Still hear people talking about COVID and needing to test for COVID. All these years later, with all the truth that's come out since then. But that's not even the issue. That level of delusion is not going anywhere. The sad part is how many nurses are obese. How many nurses and doctors have dead eyes. How many health professionals, hardcore parentheses, health professionals are overweight and obese and dead-eyed. And those are the people that are giving advice or care to those that are dealing with their own health issues. It's a fucking joke. It's like seeing an overweight personal trainer or an overweight person working at a vitamin shop. It's fucking crazy. God, our world's insane. Anyway, I'm out of here. As always, I hope wherever you are, you're doing well. You're enjoying this world as much as possible, this life, this realm. And that if you've remained human throughout the years, through all of the manipulation, mind control, propaganda, brainwashing, guilt tripping, coercion, all of it, if you've remained human, my heart goes out to you. I am forever grateful for your spirit. I just wish I hope when I do leave this realm, whenever that happens, that I get to see glimpses, or at least I get to see what used to be. I hope I can leave this place and go get like a viewing booth to see what humanity used to be and what happened and where we're going. I mean, I know where we're going eventually, but I have a strong idea of where we're going. But what it used to be like, because I really wish I could see it. But anyway, take care of yourself. I'm out of here. Never behind.